What does it take to kill Wolverine? Logan's laying on the front porch of his old house in British Columbia, beaten down and tired. As the sun rises in the distance, he slowly walks off into the forest, head hung low as he passes a hanging body. It's been a few days since he got the news from Mr. Fantastic. Logan has lost his healing factor. He's still got his adamantium skeleton and the super strength to keep moving with that much metal, but that's the only good news. Long term, there's a risk of leukemia or endocarditis. Reed's convinced that he'll be able to restore Logan's healing factor, but it will take some time. He needs Wolverine to lay low and stop fighting before exerting himself in his current condition gets him killed. Logan doesn't believe that's possible. Once word reaches his old foes that he's vulnerable now, there'll be a whole ton of villains hunting him, eager to take down Wolverine. Reed admits that's true, but if nothing else, Logan should try to avoid using his claws. Unfortunately, Wolverine couldn't keep to that. Now back in the present, Logan steps into Eric's pub. He briefly flashes back to decades ago, a different Eric behind the bar, a radio on the table, and an ancient cash register on the counter. But no, Logan's got stuff to do in the here and now. He grabs a couple of bar rags, treating them with alcohol to sterilize them and winding them around his injured hands. He calls up a friend, hoping to relax a little, nursing his bottle of whiskey. But when the voice on the line wants to know where Wolverine is, he hangs up. He'll finish his drink before heading off, but he's got a warning for new Eric. Some people are going to come looking for him, and they won't be friendly. The better part of a week goes by before the people Logan warned Eric about show up.
Hello there. 4 beers, please. You want anything in particular? Doesn't really matter, as long as it's American.
New Eric is happy to oblige, pulling his very American gun from behind the counter along with the beers. The strange man, Nuke, laughs this off. He even drops New Eric a couple of $100 bills before bending his gun barrel with one easy pull. Nuke is trying to track Logan down. New Eric wisecracks, but the bounty hunter's running out of patience, wanting to know what Wolverine said about where he'd be. Eric pulls a piece of paper from his pocket, a simple map with a note from Logan.
Come on then, you cowards.
Nuke and his boys soon have eyes on the boat. Nuke sends his guy Henry to check the ferry Logan must have used. Henry isn't wild about that, but agrees, heading in and seeing nothing until the boat explodes with him standing on it.
Yeah, well, that's why you only send one guy to check the boat.
Before Team Nuke can do anything though, their own ship starts to capsize. Nuke yells at his men that they've got to get to shore or they're all dead. The 2 remaining soldiers swim by Nuke's side at first, but soon enough they are pulled beneath the waves. Nuke manages to get to shore, but he's shocked at what he finds there. A lot of dead men.
Half of those guys took each other out trying to get at me, and the rest decided they'd rather fight than have a conversation.
It's time for Nuke and Logan to go head to head. The massive American lunges at Logan, grabbing him by the head and throwing him into the air. Logan hits a rock with a sickening crack. Nuke is honestly surprised that that hit seemingly laid Wolverine out. Mr. America's angry at the idea Logan might die that easily. That would be disappointing. But slowly, Wolvie pulls himself back up. He is not done yet. He rams his head into Nuke's again and again and again. His skull is still coated in adamantium, remember. Wolverine doesn't need claws or fancy footwork. This alone is enough to bring the bounty hunter down.
American dream my ass. This is Canada.
Wolverine's got 2 demands for Nuke if he wants to leave this island alive. He's to tell every bounty hunter out there that Logan's gonna kill all his attackers from now on. Second, he's gonna tell Wolverine who put the contract on him. Nuke's barely able to talk at this point, but he can share the name. Viper, the woman who runs the criminal city of Madripoor, Logan's ex-wife. A few days later, one of Viper's men, Coro, has a meeting at the Princess Bar. He chats with the guy behind the counter at how expensive this place has gotten before getting shown into the back where a strange businessman is waiting for him. That strange businessman, of course, is Logan, though he's not using that name right now. He's in Madripoor to sell something to Viper. Logan plays coy with Coral for a while, but finally takes his prize out of a bag to show it off. An Iron Man helmet, the most recent model. more than enough to secure a meeting with Viper. Soon, Logan strolls into her throne room at Coral's side, throwing out a "Hey, darling." Viper recognizes him immediately and is furious at Coral for just bringing the guy they're hunting right into their headquarters. She yells at her guards to bring him down. Coral runs for dear life as Viper's men surround Wolverine. Logan doesn't hurry. He just drops his bag and starts taking the attack squad apart one man at a time. Soon enough, all of Viper's gang are lying on the floor. There's nothing between Wolverine and the crime lord now. Logan wants to know what's up with the bounty Viper put out on him.
You miss me, I get that, but there are easier ways.
Viper quickly dismisses Logan's snarky comment but admits this bounty wasn't her idea. A new client's looking for a whole bunch of things, but he was willing to pay a ridiculous amount for Logan, so Viper subcontracted the hit. She put the word out to people like Nuke that she'd pay them for Logan. They bring him in, she collects the funds without doing the work, easy payday. Wolverine wants to know who her mysterious client is. Viper has a game she wants to play first though. Logan versus her new pet, Sabretooth, Wolverine's childhood friend and oldest rival, Victor Creed. Viper sprung him from prison. Once she did though, she infected him with poison, one that needs daily doses of antidote to keep Sabretooth alive. She has enjoyed having a pet monster around, but now she wants someone to die. If Vic kills Logan, he goes free. If Logan kills Vic, he gets the information. A quick slash from Sabretooth hits Logan right in the eye. Wolverine's on the floor screaming in pain. Still, he's got a plan. He reaches for the Iron Man helmet, hitting a button inside and throwing it at Creed. Sabretooth holds it surprised, then it blows up in his face. That's not enough to slow Creed down though. He springs at Logan ready to continue his attack. But with Wolverine on the floor about to die, Creed looks behind him. A new fighter has entered the fray. Lady Deathstrike tackles Sabretooth, throwing him off Logan. She reaches her claws into his chest ready to rip his heart out. But Logan tells her to stop. He actually stands up for Sabretooth. Deathstrike isn't enthusiastic about it but snaps Creed's chains, leaving him free to go. Vic is sullen, but ultimately leaves. He's got an antidote to find. Logan and Deathstrike take a second to catch up as Viper's already left the room. Logan asks the assassin why she's here, slipping into calling her by her name, Yuriko. She claims to have come for Wolverine. Logan assumes she's also after his bounty, but Yuriko clarifies. The contract on Wolverine was for her too. Anyone remotely like Wolverine is on the list. Deathstrike was only able to escape Japan thanks to another old enemy who was looking to collect. Ogun, the psychic ninja ghost. He's powerful enough that Yuriko came here planning to team up with Logan. Together, they could track down this mysterious client and end the contract. But now Deathstrike has realized something. Wolverine's eye hasn't healed and he didn't use his claws against Creed. She has his number. Logan is not ready for another fight. Still, Yuriko figures he might be a useful bargaining chip with this mystery client. She could give them Wolverine in exchange for being taken off the list. Aw, come on! But before this new fight can start, someone else has shown up to intervene. Kitty Pryde reaches her hand right through Deathstrike's body, ready to literally rip her heart out.
Hey Kitty.
It's a standoff between Pryde and Yuriko. Kitty unfacing her arm will mean instant death for the assassin. But Deathstrike is convinced Kitty is bluffing. She's no killer. Yuriko jumps out of the hold and is ready to face Kitty one-on-one. But Pryde just phases a hand through her claw arm and then materializes it, reducing Deathstrike's claws to a bloody pulp. Kitty is seriously ready to kill her. Yuriko runs, nursing her hand. Logan is happy at her not killing the assassin but falls to the ground. Kitty came prepared for this, however. She takes a syringe holding a glowing yellow liquid and injects Wolvie in the back of the neck. Slowly, his injuries begin to heal. The regen serum isn't as good as Logan's healing factor, but it helped him enough. Kitty's been on Logan's trail since Canada. She was the one he called back in Eric's pub. She was worried he was planning on getting himself killed. Logan explains that he was just trying to stop the contract. Ogun is their next lead. He doesn't usually freelance, but he's probably the one who hired Viper. It's time for Logan and Kitty to take down the old ninja wherever he's hiding. Soon enough, the pair has reached Tokyo, sitting together by the side of a river garden. They rest here for a bit while Logan fills Kitty in on the rest of what's been happening. Faced with the quiet, beautiful scene, Wolverine starts getting a little reflective. Without his healing factor, these fights are wearing him down. He would have died back in Madripoor if it weren't for Kitty.
Sometimes I wonder if it might be better to find some place where I can watch the sunset than just...
Kitty tells him not to talk like that, and Logan smiles back. He's actually excited about having lost his healing factor.
No more chances. No more doing something horrible and telling myself I've got until the end of damn time to make up for it. No. Just one lifetime where every choice matters. I'll get through this and then I'm gonna disappear. Just like, maybe someplace like this. Quiet, beautiful...
Out of nowhere, Kitty just kisses Logan and he is shocked. They've never had that kind of relationship, but she seems serious about this. Am I not good enough for you? Not pretty enough? Not as good as Jean or Rose or Mariko or the others? All those women, Logan. All those dead women. There's silence in the park as the two look at each other. Logan knows what's going on now. This is Ogun controlling Kitty's body. It's been him all along. The old ninja ghost doesn't even try to deny it. Wolverine insists he let her go, but Ogun's not willing to play ball. Wolverine makes his first move, coming in with a punch, but Ogun's Kitty is faster, planting a knee right in his gut before throwing him away. Logan lands on his feet though and socks his puppeteered friend right in the jaw. Ogun counters with a knife hand to Wolverine's neck, a punch to his gut, and one final kick to knock him away. Logan lands in a museum full of historical relics. There's an armor and swords here. By the time Ogun's caught up, Wolverine's armored up and ready to fight back with twin blades. The ninja ghost is happy to play along, grabbing another sword and clashing with Wolverine. One strike is almost enough to take Logan's head off, but the blade passes right through him, getting lodged in a wall.
She's fighting you, isn't she? She cannot hide me. She is mine.
She doesn't think so. The fight has gotten one-sided. Logan's parrying every blow. Ogun might be able to win in isolation, but he's fighting both Wolverine and Kitty right now. At last, the old Spectre gives up. Logan reaches down to check on Kitty. She's fine and insists Wolvie go take Ogun down, but before he does, she's got a name for him. Ogun's boss, the man hunting Wolverine. Abraham Cornelius, the man who gave Logan his adamantium skeleton. That name shocks Wolverine a little, but he's still got Ogun to take down, and it's likely that he'll have jumped to a new body by now. Outside the museum, Logan spots a man running away from the park as fast as he can. Wolverine tails him halfway across the bustling streets of Tokyo, tracking Ogun all the way to an abandoned warehouse. Inside is a bubbling vat of acid that contains the metal body of the mercenary Cyber, an old foe of Wolverine's. Ogun admits the merc was difficult to kill. Even now, the acid is struggling to dissolve his body. Logan doesn't care, his focus is on Cornelius and Ogun's contract. Ogun explains that Cornelius had been hunting adamantium. Logan figures he wants the skeleton back, but Ogun makes it clear that that's not the case. Cornelius wants him alive and brought to his headquarters in Paradise Valley. For now, though, Ogun has a question for Logan. Are they going to fight? If he tries, Ogun will kill his current vessel. The ninja ghost would survive that. But if Logan lets him go, Ogun will abandon his host and no longer follow Cornelius' contract. The only way to save this guy is for Logan to walk away from a killer.
Damn you. You know as well as I, Logan. I am already done.
The ghost offers another prize, more healing serum if Wolverine lets Ogun go. In the end, Logan tells him to keep it, but asks Ogun to let Cornelius know he is coming in no time. Logan is driving a Jeep in Nevada, making straight for the Mad Doctor's fortified compound. He is not holding back. He's made a set of claw bracers so he doesn't have to keep injuring himself. The gate guards go down before they can even line up a shot, and Logan's running for the door inside. He is slaughtering his way through the facility, eventually finding Lab 10 where his foe should be. Logan scans a blood-stained keycard and the door slowly swings open. For a second, James Howlett, the man who became Logan, is back in time. He sees himself in a containment vat writhing in pain as Cornelius looks on from behind a glass screen. The present-day lab isn't much different. 3 subjects are laying in bed, sedated by the masks they are wearing. Cornelius is behind that same old screen, only now he has noticed Logan. The doctor is actually happy to see his former test subject. This means he doesn't have to pay out on that bounty. Wolvie wants to know what he's been up to, banging on the glass and demanding answers.
I'm getting it right, Logan. I'm taking everything I've learned in my life, all of my failures, and I'm getting it right. I deserve to be known for something other than helping to make a killer unkillable.
He's been going through test subjects one after another. Athletes, military personnel, anyone his agents can bring him. Logan asks how many he has killed, and Cornelius can't even answer that. He's been at this for years now, and he's used up hundreds of people trying this. It doesn't matter to him, he just needs to get the process right. Even now, Wolverine hangs over the doctor's head. Cornelius feels that Logan owes his life as a superhero to him. He gave the knucklehead his unbreakable claws after all, but to Cornelius, Logan doesn't deserve to be a hero. He can make a better version. He just needs to get the adamantium to bond to his new test subjects. Logan figures that is the root of all of this, hunting his skeleton, but Cornelius claims that is not it. He can even smelt the stuff now. What he needs is to help these new Weapon X participants survive the bonding process. That's what he wants from Logan, his healing factor. Wolverine chuckles and makes a single simple cut on his palm before pressing it against the window. Drop by drop, his blood slowly trickles down the reinforced glass.
Why isn't it?
Sorry, bub.
I always did have a problem with tunnel vision. Kill him, please.
A new man enters the room, a strange figure in a blue suit with a glowing iron mask.
This is Major Sharp, Logan. He is my proof of concept, every tactical enhancement I could think of.
Sharp lands the first hit, punching Logan in the head with enough force to make him spit blood. Cornelius takes a second to think before hitting a key on his console. Surgical equipment begins to whir to life.
You know my mistake? I've thought about it a lot. I used an animal. You're an animal.
Do you know the taxonomic name for Wolverine?
Gulo. Latin for gluttonous glutton. They're thirsty, horrible creatures.
Logan tries to use his claws against Sharp, but one blow from Major destroys his makeshift gauntlet. Cornelius' pet follows it up with a second blow to the shin.
But look at Sharp. Conditioned, perfect, better. Make something perfect, and you're immortal. You matter.
Sharp hits Logan right in the gut before ripping Logan's second gauntlet away and kicking him right in the jaw.
I did it wrong the first time around. My mistake. You're a Wolverine. A glutton for death, a plague upon the earth. But I'll figure it out. I will change the world for better before I die. I will.
The fight is over. Logan tells Sharp to end it. The Major's ready to oblige, winding back for a bone-shattering punch. But Logan ducks to the side and Sharp's blow hits the screen, protecting Cornelius from the action. Sharp apologizes, Cornelius snaps but tries to warn his man. He's too late. Logan knocks Sharp out with a blow to the back of the head. He picks up the foe's mask, glaring at Cornelius, insisting he turn them off. He crushes Sharp's helmet between his hands to make it clear what he's ready to do to Cornelius. The old scientist is still defiant, however, hitting another button.
Caution. Adamantium fusion process commenced. Maintain safe distance.
Logan turns to the room, horrified as Cornelius bolts for the door. Wolverine has to stop this, so for one last time, he pops his claws. He runs straight for the adamantium refinery, busting it open with one strike. The liquid metal washes down on him, drowning James Howlett in molten metal. But he gets back on his feet. Still able to move, Logan grabs a vial of regen serum, healing the wounded test subjects before turning to the door Cornelius fled through. The doctor runs towards his evacuation helicopter, yelling at his pilot to start it up. But before he can, though, Cornelius looks down. He's injured, a large shard of glass piercing his intestine. The old man falls to the ground, his pilot running over to help him. But before he can, the molten Wolverine arrives on the helipad. The pilot reaches for his gun, but faced with this monster, he just runs for his life, leaving Cornelius to Wolverine.
At least I tried. I tried to make something. I tried to change the world. But what did you ever do but kill people? What did you ever do? What did you...
In his last moments, Logan sees his life flash before his eyes. Hero, criminal, lover, soldier, teacher, husband. He leaves Cornelius' broken corpse behind him, walking across the roof to greet the sunrise one last time.
I did enough.
And then, at long last, Wolverine's body gives out, leaving nothing but a half-melted statue in the hot Nevada sun. A worthy end to a hero. As the sun sets on this tale, our focus shifts to the emergence of Miles Morales, a rising hero who stands ready to face off against the Red Menace.
But will Miles Morales find himself joining Logan when he has to fight the vicious Carnage?